Hello and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Yeah, we're finally engaging the Japanese Shoho class battleship, which looks to be quite good. It does have a build time of more than 3 years though. That's gotta be closer to 4 with the commissioning time. So it's not a brand new ship, and I'm guessing those 18-inch guns are not Mark IV, probably Mark III. The Mark III 18-inch gun is still quite scary. So let's do this and see how it goes. All right. Yeah, that looks like a ship. From what I can see, we're already firing. We got the Wisconsin and Iowa facing off against the Japanese. I don't know what to call them, Super Yamatos. Let's have my heavy cruisers just follow battle wagons. Let's see, torpedo boats just go home. DDs can form up into one division. And we're gonna see, these are DD-37, so they don't have that many torpedoes. Only a single quad launcher each. Let's see, what is the weather like? It's not too good, it's cloudy. Yeah, let's see, that's a pretty cool shot, especially with the weather we're having. It's quite nice looking, actually. Let's see if I do it like this. So it like takes up half the screen. Then I can have the Super Yamatos kind of come in like this. And I can kind of splice them together into one thumbnail. I think that might look good. Let's see, range. Are we in torpedo range? Not quite yet. Let's see, let's select some targets here. Wisconsin and Iowa. At a range of, I don't know. Can we pen them with AP? I hope we can. Otherwise, we're gonna be in some kind of trouble here. "26 kilometers out. I've got 25.7 kilometer torpedo range." Okay, now let's try and get some torpedoes out. Maybe some of them are gonna hit, maybe not. And we're getting the torpedoes out. There we go. They are heading home. Their torpedoes have been launched. Some things are taking some pretty big hits. But the enemy battleships not taking that big hits. Let's see. What are my heavy cruisers focusing? It's kind of hard to see in the fog. Toledo, San Diego, Salem. My battleships are still focusing the enemy battleships, and we are scoring flooding hits, so we can pen the armor. That's good to know. One of the enemy Super Yamatos already quite badly damaged. No catastrophic explosions yet, at least as far as I can see. We are damaging the main guns, but they're not exploding. Toledo. We don't have to target that guy. San Diego. Pueblo. I'm gonna target the ones coming in. Because I don't think I have much of a chance of seeing torpedoes in the fog. %, identified. Okay, fresh targets for my cruiser squadrons. A lot of damage being done. %, identified. But they're not dead yet. And at this range and angle, they're getting harder to penetrate. They might become easier to penetrate at even longer range when I start getting plunging fire onto the decks. Yeah, 14-kilometer torpedoes, so they're not in range yet. Although it is getting close. So my cruisers need to start working them over. They've not launched. It's pretty good. Heavy cruiser. Let's take a look at a Japanese heavy cruiser, which has now been identified. Okay. 8.1-inch guns, 6 of them. Decent speed, decent armor. Radar 1. Gas turbines. And that's why it's, well, not super expensive, but for what it is, I would expect a cost of 104 something millions? 130, 140? %, identified, 96. There we go, more DDs going down. Torpedo boats actually have a 20-kilometer torpedo range. But being torpedo boats, they're not as fast as the DDs, and they die more quickly. Gonna have the cruisers take care of the torpedo boats first, and then we can move in a little bit closer to the battleships, which have now been identified. Taki-san. Let's take a look. It's got 4 turrets, 4, 1 aft. That's not a bad turret layout, actually. Could have not put the barbette on the rear turret, but okay. Mini bulkheads. Mark 4 18s. I was wrong. I thought they would only be Mark 3, but Mark 4. That is dangerous. They don't have a lot of pen. That's because they're firing semi-ballistic shells. That's why they're not really doing that much damage. They've done 10,000 so far. My 16-inch guns have done a lot more. 11-inch guns have done a lot more, but they've been just farming DDs. 15-inch main belt, 11-inch main deck. Almost 5-inch first inner belt. Gen 2 radar, coincidence 5. This is a good ship. Yeah, there's nothing more to say. This is a good ship. A little overboard on the tiny secondaries, but yeah. If the campaign would go on long enough for us to get a peace treaty with Japan, I would not be opposed to taking some of these Shoho class battleships as war operations. Only negative thing would be semi-ballistic AP, but at least it should do some major damage to lightly armored ships. This is going to absolutely demolish a not so heavily armored battlecruiser. And the enemy heavy cruiser sinks. Toledo, San Diego, Pueblo, and Salem. I did score 2 torpedoes. Who did that? You scored 1. You scored the other. Who took the torpedoes? Is it the battleships? No. Some other random ships that have long since gone down. A range of 35 kilometers. So they're just out of range. 5.9 deck penetration at that range. Actually, my main deck on the Iowa is not that thick. So, like, potentially. And that's at 35,000, 5.9. If they're at 35.8, which is their absolute maximum AP range, it could go through 8 inches of main deck. Let's let's get it in a little bit closer, shall we? Akitsu. Yeah, they suffered quite a bit of crew loss from those secondaries being blown off the ship. So taking too many secondaries, definitely a risky thing. I think Akitsu is gonna sink first. So yeah, basically my Iowa's using their speed and superior long-range accuracy to just dictate the engagement. Which is what you would like to see in an Iowa versus Super Mega-Yamato kind of matchup. Although I guess you could say my Iowas are actually super mega Iowas also, being that they weigh 85,000 tons. That's kind of just how heavy ships become in this game. Let's see. It is almost sunset. Not blown off their towers yet. Only 0.9 inches of superstructure armor. Cruisers are out of HE, which is not surprising when you consider how many destroyers and torpedo boats they've engaged. Oh, let's see, you had diesel 2, oil 3 for engines. It is a good choice. It's my preferred choice of engine. All the 11-inch guns are starting to tear apart the superstructure. Not see any of them explode yet. Yeah, they're running 2 powder 12. Kitsu is going down. The Taki-san, last ship standing. But just barely. Battle. Reduced ammo. Okay, now that makes them less explosive. Max HE for the secondary standard ratio on the main guns. 43.1 second reload on the main guns. And that was it. She sank. And I was just watching. Not bad. Shoho class battleship. Poor choice of AP ammunition. But otherwise, very good ships. Akitsu having done 12,000 damage. Oh, one of the DDs took a pretty big 18-inch hit, somehow managing to survive. My battleships took some hits. San Diego took 4 hits, 18-inch guns. My battleships held up. Unsurprisingly, most of the damage, just in pure damage numbers, was done by the heavy cruisers, killing all of these torpedo boats and DDs. But yeah, I'm very happy with the Iowas dealing with those very big Japanese battleships. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, We're fighting the Italians again. 2 more Florida men. This time engaging actual surface ships, not just submarines. Yeah, it's the already well-known San Giovanni Battista Piccolo class battleship. Not really as impressive as those Japanese giants we just fought. If anything, their cruisers are probably better. Not to mention they don't have any DDs? They do not have any DDs in this task force. Alright, let's go. Alright, Florida men. Your turn to shine. Let's see. Cruisers. That's the new medium cruiser class. You're just gonna follow the Florida men. Wilmington, Cleveland 2. Need to change the name of Cleveland 2. Wasn't supposed to be named that. That was just the class name. And they're gonna be kind of my forward scouts. Despite actually, oh yeah, that's right. The heavy cruisers are faster than the lights in this case. Nevada, Maine, and you will be firing AP. Let's go down to cruising speed. I'm gonna be kiting slightly away. That's a lot of hurt coming towards my light cruisers. Okay, you can forget about the scouting. We don't need scouting. Actually, battleships, forget about the enemy capital ships for now. We need to reduce their numbers. Big damage. Maine is doing the zigzag. Staying out of torpedo range. Flash fire on something. Let's see, Nevada. We can target that one. We'll knock out these light cruisers first. Oh, we got such a big cluster of ships here. siege guns are just not really in range. Yeah, I'm bringing out the heavy cruisers on their own, so they can actually have range to the enemy. What kind of armor? Come on, can I just click you? Fine, let's pause it. 3-inch. 4.9. That's decent for a light cruiser. 7-inch on the heavies. Let's knock out the heavy cruisers with our battleships. Well, the light cruisers, well, the heavy cruisers, I mean, take on the enemy light cruisers. One each. Torpedo boats going down. Let's turn you guys back. You don't need to engage the enemy heavy cruiser. Got 2 battleships doing that. Regina. Exceptionally good work by the Florida man. Nevada, Maine. Now the light cruisers can just retreat. They're not really needed anymore. One battleship on each of the 2 heavy cruisers. I'm just going to retreat my my heavy cruisers as well. They're not really that effective against enemy heavy cruisers. And they might need their ammunition next month. Intrepido, very almost dead. That should be the end of it. Maine. Start working on that battlecruiser. Oh, they're almost sailing in a straight line. What kind of armor did you have? 12 inches. You will be firing AP. Taking out these ships with 16-inch guns before. Now I've got 17.5s with heavy shells. Can you just stick to your target? I will let you fire at the Battleship very, very soon as this sinks, which is now. No, I said Battleship. And also AP. Zenziona, not looking too good. And I think that's the end of her. Now my ships will have no choice but to fire at the Battleship, which is also almost dead. What? Who did that to you? Yeah. Couple of 3,500 damage main belt hits. And ought to do it. Now she's angling away though. No worries, I can catch up. I am faster. Oh, at least now that she's flooding. And a couple more hits should be enough. Now you can fire that HE that you so wanted to fire. And it's probably going to be the structure that goes first. Yep. Was that it? No? What's left? Something here. Let's see. Is it possible to catch up, or is this just a waste of time? If it's like a heavily damaged, limping ship, then it shouldn't be a big problem. This might be a ghost ping. No, it's a torpedo boat. That is almost dead. There we go. Leave no witnesses. Alright. And one more. Constitution and United States with their escort up against only 2 heavy cruisers, a whole lot of light cruisers, and a whole lot of torpedo boats. I think the Clevelands will have to do the brunt of the work here. Actually, No enemies spotted. Torpedo boats, you will just have to go home. Again. DDs, I guess you can hang around. Light cruisers, you've taken a bit of damage previously. It's not really ideal. Let's see. Just gonna have to turn this way. And hopefully be able to sail in a straight line. Let's pick out some targets for the battleships. Where are the heavy cruisers? They had 2 of those. 7.3. 7.3. Are those heavies or lights? Hard to tell. I forgot what the heavy cruisers were armed with. I think they had more or less the same guns as the light cruisers. No, these are the heavies. I'm pretty sure. Or are they? Yeah, that's the good looking ship. I think they are the heavies. Constitution, United States. Remove those first. Because they are the ones my own light cruisers will have trouble penetrating. Possibly. I don't think they had that much armor. Okay, we have torpedo range also, so let's select targets for my DDs. And we're just going to be launching into the swarm. Hopefully scoring some hits. Not necessarily on the ships we're targeting. Kind of going for collateral damage here. Yeah, should be able to score some. Oh, we got torpedo hits in the enemy swarm. That means there are torpedoes on the way. Because my torpedoes have not reached the enemy yet. There we go. Those were, I think, my torpedoes. There are enemy ships exploding violently inside the enemy formation. Tuscaloosa, did you take a torpedo or something? Let's see here. It's impossible to select a single ship when they're moving that fast. No, you did not take torpedoes. You're just taking fire. You're not that heavily armored. Cheyenne, you gonna retreat? And because they've taken damage in a previous battle, they're more susceptible to take damage, take flooding this time. Let's take out some of these DDs, if possible. Tuscaloosa also taking flooding damage. Oh. And here are some torpedoes. We turned just in time. I think it's a little bit risky being a light cruiser here. Currently, want to take out more of the enemy cruisers first before I send in my own light cruisers to clean up destroyers. Oh, you're already in the turn. Fine. Do a full turn then. Back towards the enemy. It's not very safe, but this heavy cruiser is dead. Let's take out these two light cruisers first, because they're almost dead already. And really, battleships, I need you to not worry too much about the enemy DDs. I kept my light cruisers alive. I can still hunt DDs later. Okay, if you want to explode a DD, that's gonna complain too much about that. I just don't want them to waste their ammunition on ships that are difficult to hit. And easy to kill with smaller guns. Yeah, that's right. The enemy, so many of the enemy light cruisers are carrying 7.3 inch guns. No wonder they're poking lots of not too tiny holes in my light cruisers. Stella Polare. Are you being focused by a battleship? No, no, no. Useless, useless. Luckily, these, some of the light cruisers are carrying torpedoes. Marsala is. I can send the light cruisers back in. United States, why are you worrying about the DD? It doesn't have any torpedoes left. It launched all of its torpedoes at the friendly at the friendly ship. Emmanuel de Filiberto, how long will you last? Not that long. Ettore Fiera Mosca being the last one alive. But only until she gets hit. And that's it. It's gonna slow down now and become easier to hit. That's possibly a kill. That's certainly a kill. Alright. More Italian ships sent to the bottom. It's gonna have a pretty positive effect on my invasion of Sicily, I think. Alright. And a decent battle in the Black Sea, facing off against the Austro-Hungarian Navy. But that will have to be the next time. I think I'm gonna record one more episode and that will be it for the campaign. I'm just gonna finish off the turn and then finish the campaign, and then we're gonna start the next one, which by the looks of it looks to be Italian. Goodbye and take care.